feel like the adults now are really taking my generation,
teenagers,
kids today, for granted, but they're kind of just saying they're lazy and don't want to do anything.
young, trouble.
They're not cool. Oh, they're there. They're not doing any work. But I'm sure they were the same way when they were growing up.
There's so many things bombarding you, you know.
The environment, poverty-stricken areas,
AIDS,
domestic violence,
drugs,
huge pregnancy more problems than when their parents were young.
That's what I think causes us teenagers to just give up.
Get desensitized.
pretty much numb to the society.
And that's the worst thing you could do.
I think we're all changing for the better, though.
You might be the person that's making the difference.
The future is ours. So now what?
I guess your basic interests really go hand in hand with your volunteering.
If you like to fish, there's a water conservation. If you like to sew, you make things for handicapped. I mean, there's always something you can do.
I helped with the earthquake in LA.
We go to the nursing home and do different things with the residents there.
I go into a classroom and I give a presentation on HIV and AIDS. And if the students can't speak English, then I'll give the presentation in Spanish.
For me, volunteering was a way to do something I love to do. I would say find something you love to do and go for it.
I chose my volunteer work because I love the ocean the most. And it heals people, it calms me down. It's another form of calming me down. It calms me down just like music does. I remember when I was 10, 11, when I get in fights with my parents or friends, I just grab my guitar and sit in my backyard and just play my guitar for hours. My mom comes to my shows whenever I play, and she wears earplugs and sits in the back, but she comes. I voice my opinion in two ways. I voice it through my music and through my work with the environment. I think it's the most important thing anyone can do. My generation is the first generation that's realizing that our parents and our parents' parents mistreated the earth. We have to clean up what our parents have done to the environment. I take out groups of 15 to 30 people and teach them about how the sewer system works in Los Angeles and the gutters, and tell them that it's important that people know that when they dump things into the storm drains, they go directly into the ocean and not to the sewage treatment plant. Okay, we're gonna spray this drain with the stencil in this pizza box. And we take stencils that say, no dumping, this drains to ocean, and we spray paint them on all the gutters in bright blue paint to warn people against dumping. And then we educate people by putting door hangers on doors and telling them that the environment's dying and what we're doing and why. I get so much out of it. I've learned how to talk in front of people. I've learned that it's really hard to tell people what to do because they usually don't want to do exactly what you tell them. And if you just sit at home not doing anything, you're not learning anything. You're not teaching people what you know. You're not voicing your opinion.
'Cause it's been a long while. Yeah, down on my knees, praying the Lord can hear me. My heart is bleeding, it's got some sympathy.
I don't want to look back in 50 years at my life in Los Angeles and say to myself, why didn't I help clean the city? Why didn't I help do something? And now I can. I can look back and say, I helped clean the ocean.
Why don't teenagers do their work in the community, put time into what they do?
Everyone has their own input on things, their own ideas, their own feelings.
I feel like it's my responsibility, like I owe it to my community and to the people around me, and that's why I volunteer.
If we pull all the efforts of everyone, then we can make a significant contribution to our country or to our community or to a school or something.
It's just simple common sense, basically. I mean, if you see something needs to be done or if you see someone that needs help, then you just do it.
I like the community that I'm living in. It's not as bad as the media says it is. It's one of the biggest and largest housing projects in America. It has 32 buildings, 16 floors, 10 apartments on each floor. If you have people stacked on top of each other like the Robert Taylor homes, you know, you're gonna eventually get a conflict. This is DuSable High School. This is Wabash Avenue. This over here is the Robert Taylor homes, which I was talking about. And at the corner here, we're going to make a right where you're going to see the library in which we tutor. We're expecting the little children to be here with as much enthusiasm as they come with every week.
I see because his eyes on despair. That's the reason. That's the reason why I see. I want to know
If you don't have a male role model in your life, especially if you're a young black male, you're not, you know, you're going to follow whomever it is that you like. It may be negative, it may be positive. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them on the positive aspect. At first, they asked me, and I didn't want to do it. I said, okay. But then, after a while, I got to like it. You know, when a child comes after you and tells you, well, you late, you know, I was here a half hour early and you late, where you been, you know? That kind of gives you the incentive that he wants to be there and he wants you to be there. You can't find 50 states.
No.
Why you can't? This biggest day on here. I talk to them about every subject they can think of. So you don't have any trouble with gangs or nothing? You discuss what's on your mind and you become one with that person. I mean, you become almost like family.
They tell me to be polite to a lady. They tell me to be good. They tell me to don't lie.
One person can make a big difference in anybody's life, because if you're positive enough and you keep pushing them enough and telling them what they can do and you keep doing it, they're going to believe they can and they're going to go on. My pride in myself and the community is a big part of my life, because when I see myself 10, 20 years from now, I would like to look back and say, yes, I tutored that child. Now he's a teacher. Now he's a doctor. Now he's following in my footsteps. You know, spread the seeds, as they say. And you would make a big difference in anybody's life, in anybody's community.
You're the reason why I sing. You're the reason why I sing. You're the reason why I sing. One moment, please.
I always hear excuses, people not wanting to volunteer. They say I need to sleep in. They say I don't have the time. They say my presence isn't going to make any difference. There's 50 other people there.
I think those kids see volunteer work as work and not something that you gain from, not something that you can learn from.
If a teenager says that they don't have time to do it because they have a job, that's foolish. Because I work 3 jobs and I do everything.
Volunteering does take your time. Does take away some things that you could be doing, but you do get a lot. It's not in money sense. It's in your inside, and it's something you can't buy.
There is one obstacle that I could say that gets in my way, and that is my visual impairment. People would say, well, you can't do that, you can't see well enough. But I'll just do it my own way. If it's reading for someone else, that's great. We'll just use a book with larger print.
With a little love and some tenderness, we'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist. With a little peace and some harmony, we'll take the world together, we'll take them by the hand.
I have trouble with distances, but I have some bioptic devices, telescopes and magnifiers that I can use to see far away. Before I had volunteered and worked with different people, I didn't feel confident enough to walk up to a total stranger and say, could you tell me what this says? It gave me the ability to say, okay, I can do this. I've got the self-confidence, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do what everybody else does. Got it? I work with a little girl who has cerebral palsy. We're good friends, and it's almost like I'm her sister or something. She can do anything everybody else does, so we just do any Girl Scout thing.
Today we're doing a pre-camping trip, camping experience, so that when we go out to camp and we stay overnight, we won't have trouble starting the fire and get stuck without dinner. We need more wood, don't we, Stacia?
I've learned more from volunteering than I have probably from school. It's taught me social skills and how to work with different people.
3 different sizes of firewood.
Oh, yes. Good, bad, and perfect?
No. No greater way to learn how to be a leader than to be one. This is the rabbit and this is the tree, okay? Bear with me. The rabbit is going to go down his hole around his tree.
I've been volunteering ever since I was a little kid. At first it was an interest, just kind of I wonder what it would be like too. And then it was, okay, what places could I see if I could volunteer? And the one place that would accept young volunteers was the state hospital. And so I started volunteering there because I could, and I just really got involved with some of the people with multiple disabilities. So I thought, this is neat, I like this. It gave me some independence and some assertiveness. It gave me the ability to know that I could stand up for myself and say, this is what I need, this is how what I need to do. I think everyone should try volunteering because it gives you an opportunity to explore things you won't be able to explore any other way. When you volunteer, you can learn things about any situation, and you can learn from it in a protected way.
You're doing a good job, Lindsay.
Volunteering doesn't have a measure. It could be a small thing. If you teach one person, that person's going to teach someone else. And, it's like a chain.
Even though little things may not seem that much, at the end, when you look back after volunteering, you realize the impact you had on the people.
Even if you help one person or save one thing, that makes a difference in your community and on the earth.
You don't have to tackle the world, and you don't have to spend your whole day volunteering, but a small effort coupled with a small effort of one of your friends and a small effort of another friend, that becomes the big effort.
You can be 65 and volunteer, or you could be 10 and volunteer. Doesn't matter what age you are.
It's funny to see other people because you're amazed that we're so young and that we're actually doing something. Some of them don't see that younger kids can do something like that. I like to play the trumpet and ride on my bike and play sports with my friends and hang out the mall with them.
I play basketball and I play hockey, and I work and I squeeze in time to hang around with my little brother. I also have time to do volunteer work.
The Leo's Club is a group that follows me into order. It's a group that helps people and volunteers and raises money for different organizations.
I like to hang out with people, so this is a good way to hang out with people. I also help and I also have fun at the same time. It feels good too after you finished your job.
Today we just came down to serve food at the shelter.
I'm usually at school in health class with my teacher, Miss Mark.
I'll probably be in language arts or math.
I do it for fun and to meet new people. And I first did it so that I wouldn't be shy anymore.
Cool. Here we go. Off I take ya. Dip truck. Lip Fantasia.
I was afraid of like older people and like not necessarily older people, but I was scared of people I didn't know. And I was really shy, so it kind of gave me the courage not to be shy. And I'm not that shy anymore.
I learned to cooperate with other people and just like work with other people.
Well, the biggest gift I get back from volunteering is probably the feeling that I know I did something good for someone else instead of just me.
I just enjoy doing it. I just love helping people, yes.
It makes me feel great when I volunteer. I feel like I've really done something.
Volunteering has exposed me to different ways people live and different ways people think, and just expanded my horizons.
It makes me really happy inside, but I know that I'm helping someone else, and I know that it's making a difference to them.
I've learned everything. Responsibility, time management, all that. I mean, I'm balancing all of these different things. Looks good on your college resume.
If you volunteer, you can get experience, you meet people that are very open and optimistic.
Volunteering changed me a lot. It just flipped my whole world around. It's like I was a totally different person because it let me know that there are people out there that care about you and that need to be cared about.
Before I started volunteering, I wasn't a troublemaker, but I had problems. I was loud and rude and obnoxious, and I wouldn't even want to be around me. But, I'm not like that anymore, thank God. Hi, how are you doing? I know volunteering helped a lot, and it makes me feel good about myself, and that's why I keep doing it every year. In Maryland, it's a requirement to perform service learning. They give you a choice of different things you can try. I just decided to try everything, and I enjoyed everything I did. Meals on Wheels. I've been in Meals on Wheels. Hi, how are you doing? Young Parent Support Centers, Senior Citizens Club.
Thank you.
Tonight we're having the Senior Citizens Prom, which is a big thing where we have all the senior citizens in our community come in and have a prom, and it's like a really big event. It's like bigger than our prom is going to be. The greatest thing I get out of volunteering my time is just the thanks I get from the people, the appreciation. I feel like they need me, and that makes me feel really special. It's like a job, but it's fun. It is, and it helps everybody. It helps you, too. It helps you grow as a person. Like when you go to Young Parent Support Center, you can't go there and be immature. You have to be mature enough to handle children or they're not going to listen to you. Don't do that, okay? You have to be responsible enough to go to people's homes and deliver their meals when they're counting on you to be there on time and eat. What do we have next? It's not like a hardship on you, but you just have to grow up and be ready to, buckle down and be responsible enough to take on a task. When people think of me, I hope when I leave school, they'll be like, oh yeah, she was so nice, she was polite, she was this and that. And I think that all comes from service learning too, because before that, I really was not like this. I would not have ever thought about doing it at all after I got out of high school. But I know that I'm going to take the special time out to go out in my community and try to serve other people.
I see everyone as connected. Everyone does things for other people, and people do things for you. And if you go out and you work with people who need help, then you gain something from them, and they gain something from you.